Welcome to our 4 Jars Kitchen, and today we have a special guest with us. We have Leilani from Make It Make. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. Today we are going to be making pickled bell peppers. You got to have it in your pantry.
I heard that you can juggle. Is that correct?
How many weeks certainly could try.
All right, it's a challenge.
Okay.
Ready?
That's not too bad.
Now that we've had our fun, I'm sure that they all enjoyed watching us do that. Let's go ahead and get to business.
Okay.
Let's start. So Leilani, tell us about this recipe. What are we gonna need and what are we gonna do?
All right, well, the first thing you're gonna need are some really vibrant, colorful bell peppers. I mean, you certainly could use any color pepper, but I personally like to have the variety of color because it just looks so beautiful in the jar. And we wanna take our peppers, make sure that they are washed super, super clean. We're gonna cut them up and make sure that they are deveined.
And is this the perfect size for them?
Yeah, peppers, that's fine. So the first thing we wanna do, as always, make sure that our jars are nice and cleaned.
Yes.
And then we're just gonna start adding our peppers to the jar. And as we're adding our peppers to the jar, we can add a garlic clove or two, however you like.
Does it matter if it's on the bottom or the top?
No, it doesn't matter. Everybody pickles differently. The thing I love about pickling is that you are the maker. So if you want to add your seasonings later, if you want to add your seasonings during the cooking of the brine, or just add them at the bottom of the jar, you can certainly do that as well.
And then how full do you want these jars? Like how tight do the peppers need to be in there?
You know, I like to pack them in really tight because in the canning process, you have to allot for some shrinkage because the vegetables are going to shrink a little bit.
Okay.
And then if you don't take care of that, like by packing it in, you get what's kind of flotation too, where the vegetables sort of float up. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to have it for aesthetic purposes too, which I don't know about you, but I love being able to look at my jars and seeing how pretty they are. And when they're nice and packed and full, it always makes them look even the more prettier. Another thing you can do as well is this pickling recipe in particular is a very basic one. So we're just only adding salt, vinegar, and some garlic. You can certainly add peppercorns, a basil leaf, even red pepper flakes if you like. Jalapenos, you could even add that. Definitely have fun with the recipe.
All right, does this seem to be good enough?
Looks good to me. Quick reminder that we're leaving 1 inch of headspace. And sometimes when I see gaps in the jar, I will do my best to sort of squeeze one in there and maneuver it. So another way that some people like to help with shrinkage in their jars, you know, when it comes to canning their vegetables, some people will take a bowl of really hot water and sort of let the slices of their vegetables sit in there for just a couple minutes to help wilt it. That way, when they cook it, it doesn't shrink so much.
And so first, the 5% acidity vinegar.
Yes, we're adding 2 cups. And then we're going to be adding 2 cups of water. Then we're going to be adding 1 teaspoon of canning salt.
Do we need to stir it the whole time? Let it just do its thing?
Yes, we're going to stir it. We're going to make sure that the salt is completely dissolved and just bring it up to a simmer and then bring it back over to our peppers.
Okay, so Leilani, why are we using stainless steel particularly?
Because when you are working with high acid food, you want to make sure that you have a non-reactive pan, because if you don't, there's a chance where your food can have a metallic taste and have that type of reaction. Okay. So it's just best just to sort of leave that out and work with stainless steel.
All right, now it's up to a simmer. We got it to a simmer. Ladle it up.
Yes, we're gonna start with taking our beautiful for jars funnel here, which comes in the size regular and wide mouth. We're gonna be using the wide mouth.
We do have the measurements on here.
One of the features I really love about this is that you don't have to guess on the head space. You can actually look and see where your head space is. Makes it way easier instead of just sort of eyeballing it all the time.
Since this is hot water, is it going to shrink the vegetables?
A little bit, yes. There's always some sort of shrinkage that happens when you're canning vegetables unless you sort of blanch them first.
Debubbling?
Yep.
Okay.
It's very important to debubble to get all those air pockets out. Also, when you're debubbling, you are going to be adjusting for headspace, because after you do that process, it starts to shrink, obviously releasing the air, and we need to replace that liquid. So we've debubbled, so now we're going to take a look at our jars and adjust for the headspace. We're gonna just add our funnel and just add the tiniest bit, because I just think we only lost a little bit, not a whole lot. So we're gonna take some vinegar and wipe the rims, then add our lids and rings, and then start the processing time.
Because we did use vinegar and water and salt in this, do we still have to wipe the rims?
Absolutely, because you wanna make sure that you're giving your lids the best foundation for a really good seal. So just go with the protocol and wipe the rims.
Our simmered lids, we can go ahead and put on top.
Yep, our simmered for jars lids. We're gonna put them right on top along with our screw bands.
And our rings need to be fingertip tight, correct?
Yep. Oh, they look so beautiful.
Now they're ready to go into our water bath.
That's right, we're gonna process them for 10 minutes. And that's gonna start that processing time once we get to a rolling boil.
And I'm sure some of you might even have a question. Leilani, what would we use pickled peppers for?
All right, so my husband asked me this question the other day, and I was like, are you kidding me? We could use this on hoagies, on cheesesteaks, even on pizzas if you like that sort of taste. You could even wrap a piece of cheese around it and just eat it like that. It's just really versatile and just super tasty. You gotta have it in your pantry. Processing time is 10 minutes. Remember that the 10 minutes starts when you bring the water up to a rolling boil.
That is our pickled pepper recipe.
They look really good.
They do. Thank you so much, Leilani, for being with us today.
You're welcome.
All right, friends, so like, comment, and share.
And subscribe.